What if your haircut, your smile, or even your dreams weren't yours to decide? In North Korea, daily life is shaped by rules so bizarre, they seem fake until you realize they're brutally enforced. This isn't just a nation with harsh laws. It's a place where even time itself was rewritten to glorify a dictator. Today, we're lifting the curtain on the disturbing laws that define life inside one of the world's most secretive regimes. Let's look at the absurd rules North Koreans are forced to live under. Number 15. North Korea's strange calendar. North Koreans follow a calendar that begins with their leader's birth. The regime forces an entire country to live on a made-up timeline. While the rest of the world uses the Gregorian calendar, North Korea follows the Yuche calendar, which begins in 1912, the year Kim Il-sung, the nation's founder, was born. That means 2025 is Juche 114. This calendar isn't some cultural tradition, it's a tool of control. There are no official years before 1912. History, as taught by the state, begins with Kim Il-sung. Events that came before are ignored in schools and the media. The system was introduced in 1997 and quickly became mandatory. Newspapers, textbooks, birth certificates, all official documents now follow the Juche timeline. It's not just bureaucracy, it's psychological separation from the outside world. By redefining time, the regime reshapes how people see the past, present, and future. In North Korea, even the calendar serves the dictatorship. It's not just about years, it's about erasing everything that came before Kim. Number 14. Loyalty before life. Your house can be on fire, your family screaming for help. But if you don't save the leader's portrait first, you could end up in prison or worse. In most emergencies, instinct takes over. People rush to save loved ones, children, and pets. But in North Korea, instinct is overridden by ideology. Citizens are legally required to protect official portraits of their leaders, Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong Un, before anything else. It's not tradition, it's the law. Every home is issued these framed images, which must be displayed prominently and kept spotless. A 2020 case surfaced where a mother rescued her children from a house fire but failed to save the portraits. Instead of being praised, she was punished. Anywhere else, she'd be called a hero. In North Korea, she was labeled disloyal. The regime doesn't just need loyalty, it demands constant proof of it. Even in a disaster, the symbols of the state come first. In North Korea, the leader's image matters more than life. Number 13. Triplets. Taken by the state, triplets are considered a rare miracle in most parts of the world, celebrated and embraced by families. North Korea recognizes that rarity too, but reacts to it differently. When a woman is expecting triplets, she's immediately sent to Pyongyang to deliver under the state's top medical care. At first, this sounds thoughtful, but the reality that follows is anything but. Once the babies are born, they're seized by the state. Parents aren't allowed to raise them during those vital early years. Instead, they're placed in state-run nurseries or orphanages. In exchange, the parents receive symbolic gifts, like gold rings for girls and silver knives for boys, but don't reunite with their children until age 4. The regime's reasoning is unclear, but appears rooted in control and resource allocation. Triplets are later given special status, with access to better education and jobs. Still, separating them from their families during critical years leaves lasting damage. Number 12. North Korea's bizarre basketball rules. What if missing a free throw cost you points, and a buzzer beater counted for 8? Well, most welcome to North Korea, where basketball itself is reshaped by dictatorship. Around the world, basketball runs on standardized rules. But under Kim Jong Un's direction, North Korea crafted a strange version of its own. He allegedly revised the game to make it unrecognizable. A perfect three-pointer, clean shot, no rim or backboard, gets 4 points. Slam dunks are worth 3. If you miss a free throw, your team loses a point. and a basket made in the final 3 seconds can earn 8 points, potentially changing the entire game instantly. Even stranger, games can end in a tie, an oddity in competitive basketball. These rules feel more about chaos than fairness. Ironically, Kim Jong Un loved the NBA, especially the Chicago Bulls, a symbol of Western sports. North Korea condemns American culture but quietly copies it. Even basketball isn't immune to state manipulation. It becomes just another tool for performance, not play. Number 11. Three-generation punishment. North Korea's most chilling method of control doesn't stop with the individual, it targets the entire family. In most countries, punishment is personal, but in North Korea, one person's mistake can destroy generations. Known as the three-generation rule, this policy means that if someone breaks the law or is accused of disloyalty, their parents, kids, and grandparents can be arrested, imprisoned, or worse. It's not justice, it's intimidation. This policy dates back to the post-World War II era when the regime aimed to eliminate entire bloodlines that might pose a threat. It wasn't about punishing crimes, it was about erasing dissent. Even now, the rule continues. Families vanish overnight. People live in fear not just for themselves, but for everyone they love. The regime uses this tactic to make sure no one speaks out. In North Korea, silence isn't just survival, it's protection. Here, the sins of one aren't theirs alone. Number 10. Banned bikes and gender rules. From banning bicycles outright to forbidding women from riding them, North Korea's bizarre restrictions revealed just how far the regime controls everyday life. In most countries, bicycles are a practical way to get around. But in Pyongyang, they were fully banned for decades. The regime wanted people to use motor vehicles instead. That idea collapsed in 1991 when the economy tanked and most citizens couldn't afford cars or food. By 1992, the bicycle ban was lifted, but cars remained out of reach. Bicycles returned as the main form of transportation. Then, in 1995, the regime banned women from riding. Officials claimed it was immoral and unsafe, suggesting women couldn't handle traffic. The data proves otherwise. Men cause more fatal accidents worldwide. The ban was lifted in 2012, only to return in 2013. Today, enforcement is inconsistent, but the message is unchanged. North Korea's rules aren't about safety, they're about limiting freedom, even something as basic as a beautiful woman riding a bicycle. Number 9. Religion-banned faith is nearly non-existent in North Korea, not because people don't believe, but because believing is a crime. Around the world, religion is a private matter, often protected. In North Korea, it's nearly wiped out. The country is officially atheist, with over 70% of the population reporting no religious belief. Any faith outside the regime's ideology is seen as a threat. Pyongyang has a few churches, but defectors and visitors say they're fake. Staged performances, not real worship. Practicing religion in private is dangerous, especially for Christians. In 2014, an American tourist was jailed for 5 months for leaving a Bible in a restroom. In 2023, reports emerged of an entire family, including a toddler, sentenced to life for owning one. The message is clear. The only belief allowed is in the Kim family. Anything else is rebellion. In North Korea, religion isn't just restricted, it's criminalized. Faith is replaced by fear. Number 8. The double life of North Korea's elite North Koreans are taught to despise Western brands. Yet their leaders wear Rolex and Dior. This isn't about rejecting capitalism, it's about hoarding it. Walk through any global city and you'll see McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and Adidas. But in North Korea, those brands are illegal. The regime bans them as symbols of Western ideology. Instead of McDonald's, North Korea built Samtaesong, its own fast food chain. It serves burgers and fries, but only in Pyongyang and mostly to the elite or foreigners. It's reportedly managed by Kim Jong Un's aunt. While everyday citizens survive on rice, potatoes, and kimchi, North Korea's elite quietly shop at upscale spots like Daedonggang department store. There, you'll find Chanel, Dior, and Adidas, brands banned from public life. Even Kim Jong Un's wife, Ri Sol-ju, is often seen in luxury designer outfits. The contradiction is clear. The ruling class lives in indulgence, while the public is told to reject it. Number 7. North Korea's phone crackdown. In North Korea, using a phone to reach the outside world is dangerous and could cost you your life. While phones are essential worldwide, they're tightly controlled in North Korea. Most citizens use Korealink, a state-monitored network that blocks international calls and tracks every domestic conversation. Along border regions, signal jammers are installed to block unauthorized contact. Only a few government-approved officials are allowed real communication access. This intense control keeps citizens unaware of life outside their borders. In one disturbing case from 2014, a man was executed for using a smuggled phone to call relatives in South Korea. Officials tracked the signal and made an example of him publicly, warning others of the consequences. Talking to someone outside the country is considered treason. In North Korea, phones don't connect people, they monitor them. Every call carries risk, and silence is the only safety. Number 6. North Korea's internet. North Koreans live in a digital cage, completely isolated from the real internet. While billions across the globe enjoy unrestricted online access, North Koreans face a different reality. Instead of the actual internet, they're limited to a domestic network called Kwangmyong. It offers around 5,500 heavily censored sites, focused mainly on education and state propaganda. The real internet is off limits to nearly everyone. Only a small group of approved government officials and researchers can access it under strict monitoring. In 2016, a security researcher found that only 28 North Korean websites were made available to the public. These included friend.com.kp, a social site, cooks.org.kp, a recipe hub, and corefilm.com.kp, a media platform for North Korean movies. But compared to the rest of the world, this is nothing. The regime's digital control prevents citizens from seeing anything outside state-approved narratives. In North Korea, the internet isn't a tool for learning, it's a firewall. Reality is filtered, and curiosity shut down. Number 5. No laughing matter. In North Korea, cracking a joke isn't harmless. It's criminal. Even laughing at the wrong time can lead to prison. That's how comedy becomes life-threatening. In most countries, making fun of politicians is normal. From late-night TV to internet memes, political humor is common. But in North Korea, it's treated as blasphemy. Even a light comment about the ruling Kim family can be seen as treason. People have been jailed, tortured, and even executed for making or repeating jokes. The Kim dynasty isn't just powerful. They're portrayed as sacred. Their portraits are in every school, home, and public building. Citizens are required to display them and clean them regularly with government-issued dusters. Failure to keep them spotless can mean punishment. Everyone is expected to wear pins with their faces, and some even bow to their images daily. In North Korea, speech, emotion, and behavior are tightly controlled. Well, we mean, that's not a life. Number 4. Life under constant surveillance. Living in North Korea means your every move, word, and gesture is watched. Surveillance isn't just digital, it's woven into everyday life. The government relies on an internal network of informants, known as Inminban, or people's units, who monitor neighborhoods, workplaces, and even households. These citizens report anything deemed suspicious, from unusual conversations to skipped propaganda meetings. The result is a constant sense of pressure. You never know who's listening. Phones are tapped, computers are monitored, mail is opened before it's delivered. Even facial expressions are scrutinized during public events. One misplaced reaction during a leader's speech can raise suspicion. Children are taught in school to report family members if they hear anti-regime remarks. There's no sanctuary, not in your home, not even in your thoughts. The system isn't just about enforcement, it's about control through fear. Number 3. Jobs assigned for life. No dreams, no choices, only orders. North Korea controls careers and crushes ambition for millions. Most children grow up imagining their futures, whether that's becoming an astronaut, an artist, or a content creator. But in North Korea, those dreams don't matter. After graduation, the government assigns your job based solely on national needs. Personal interests and talents are disregarded. Once placed, people are sent to their assigned roles, often remote and harsh, and can't change them unless they pay an enormous bribe, which is impossible for most. Under Kim Jong Il's rule, thousands of young graduates were sent to an isolated region for potato farming. They had to build homes from scratch and live out their lives planting crops with no escape or alternative. This rigid system locks people into one path, extending the cycle to future generations. Children born there often follow the same fate. In North Korea, your job isn't a career, it's a lifetime command. Freedom to dream doesn't exist. Just work and work. Number 2. No sharing the name. In North Korea, even your name isn't entirely yours. When Kim Jong Un assumed leadership in 2011, he ordered that no other citizen be allowed to share his name. This wasn't a soft request. It was an enforced mandate. People named Jong Un were required to legally change it. No exceptions. This move wasn't about identity, it was about dominance. At the time, Jong Un was a relatively common name across the country, but the regime insisted that only one person could carry it, the supreme leader. In recent years, reports suggest the same rule has been applied to his daughter, Kim Jong Un, who is rumored to be next in line. While the total number of people affected remains unclear, the message is unmistakable. In North Korea, even your name must bend to power. What most consider deeply personal becomes regulated and stripped away. This rule isn't just about status. It's about enforcing singular authority, ensuring that one name stands above all others. Number 1. Banned TV. Imagine living where watching a show could cost your life. Across most of the world, TV connects people through entertainment and news. But in North Korea, the screen is a locked gate. The nation has only 4 TV channels, all controlled by the government. They don't air news, drama, or variety shows. Instead, they stream endless praise of the supreme leader, highlight the regime's successes, and warn of its enemies. Anything beyond this bubble is banned. Foreign content, especially from South Korea or the West, is a threat. Watching an American movie or Korean drama is punishable by imprisonment, or worse. In 2021, a man was reportedly executed for sharing Squid Game. That drama featured a North Korean defector, and the regime didn't even deny the incident. Silence was the warning. In North Korea, TV isn't a pastime, it's a tool, one that replaces curiosity with fear. For citizens, a few moments of outside entertainment could mean a lifetime of punishment. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon in the next one.